What is the secret to client retention? You have an amazing retention rate. How do you do it?
There's 3 main points when it comes to client retention and keeping your client feeling special and that you want to grow with them. I think that's really important. Mm-hmm. My first tip would be to get to know your client.
Okay.
So what I mean by that is as simple as reading their intake form the second that they come in, making them feel welcomed. Yep. Starting a conversation with them is really important and not just treating them like another number.
Yep.
I think that's really important, is creating a first relationship with somebody.
Yeah.
Making it relational.
Yeah. To not cut you off so quickly, because this is a really good point you're about to go on. If you guys are interested in us doing a full consultation with just Victoria giving me the consultation, comment it down below, because we do kind of have this broken down. You've practiced it a lot. You've rehearsed it a lot. It's
muscle memory.
You've
and
really
I think that's
dialed
something.
in. It's not just you don't just go off the fly, off the rip for every client that comes in. So if you are interested in that, yeah, and we've worked through this a lot now to make it muscle memory for you. But yeah, I do like that point a lot of, and we can go over this if you guys do want the consultation video of breaking that barrier with the client and not making it like, go get on the table immediately, but going like, oh my gosh, your hair is ombre. I almost did my hair ombre. But yeah, keep going. Yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off too early with there.
I love that. I think that when I'm trying to get to know somebody, it is so intimidating for somebody to walk in your door and put themselves out there. So whether they're just there to relax, but especially if they're there to treat something as insecure as acne.
Yeah.
It's a very emotional process. Yeah. Making somebody feel comfortable is so important. Yeah. Not making somebody feel awkward, making them feel at home.
Yeah, I'm thinking about that in real time right now. And I know acne is one of the biggest ones. Of course, not all your clients are all acne clients, but I think anybody in general, I mean, a lot of times, you have a lot of older clients and they come in like real, like, I need this wrinkle gone. But I think people in general, most people are pretty insecure. I mean, we're insecure as well. I'm not like to point the finger at them. We're all insecure. And I think you're coming into a professional and you don't know what's realistic and what's not realistic. So if you're looking for a certain treatment or you're looking for certain results, you don't know, am I going to sound silly when I say, like, make my wrinkles go away? Like, is that a normal thing people say?
For me personally, I never like to point out somebody's flaws. I know in school we were trained to look at somebody's skin and point out the imperfections, essentially. For me, that's not my place. I want to make people feel good, make people feel beautiful. So when they walk into my treatment room, I think that's one of the secrets that I have is giving them a compliment the second that they walk in the door, because it's so easy. I'm sure in the past people have gotten a bad experience.
You've heard it before. You've actually heard people come in and lay down and go, the last person told me my skin was too oily.
Definitely.
It was too dry. I had acne scars, and there's
a balance to it.
You never know what things people are not worried about. There is certain things that, like you've told me before, do you realize you have that? And I'm like, well, now I do. Like I've never even had an issue with that.
I think that's where the relational aspect comes to it, because eventually they're going to want to hear. I mean, some people do want to hear
they'll ask you, what do you think my skin needs?
But if somebody's coming to you and they are so confused of what to even book, or they have no idea what their skin type is, or maybe they don't even realize that they're breaking out. I've had that happen a lot. Yeah. They think their skin is perfectly fine, which is okay. I'm so happy that they're confident in their own skin, but that's not my place to point something out if somebody is not ready.
Boot camp. Oh man. Definitely. Like they come in for like a regular facial to relax and you're like, oh, you know what you really need? Cause your acne's
That's
terrible.
One of my biggest tips is always, number one, create conversation. I see you are from Gilbert, Arizona. How was the drive? What is your favorite activity to do out here? And not immediately going into the consultation where it can feel intense, intimidating. And that's what I'm saying is getting to know somebody on a deeper level instead of just going straight into, okay, what are you here for? What do you want? here's the treatment that we're going to do. Gotcha. Bye.
Yeah.
So I think it's really important to start the consultation per se off face to face, creating conversation. Number 2, going into, okay, what are your main concerns? What do you see in your skin and how can I help? Because I don't want to point out something that maybe you're insecure about and you leave feeling terrible about yourself. And
so it's really about creating that connection. It sounds like is immediately with every client doing your best to create a real connection with somebody, which is much, I mean, it's much bigger than just here's a $250 treatment. Here's how I can make some cash, but really connecting with somebody. And to be honest, I mean, I'm just thinking about this right now, as silly as it may sound, like you got to spend 2 hours a month with this person too. You're going to want to like get to know them and like them and know what they're into.
I want to have a relationship with them just as much as they may want to have a relationship with me. It's not transactional. It is relational for me. So even just going back to the point of, somebody spilling out their emotions and, not, maybe they don't feel good about themselves. I want them to be able to come to me and trust me. I don't want to just blurt out things that I see in their skin. And that's just me as a provider. But I don't like to use the word, I don't like to tell somebody, hey, you have acne.
Yeah.
That's just not me as a provider. I know that some people maybe thrive at having a more direct consultation, but I, at the end of the day, want people to feel loved.
Yeah. And I think this is a good point for everybody as well to think about when it comes to our retention. Victoria has excellent retention. So maybe we don't have necessarily as many like new bookings as maybe some other businesses, but your retention is really high. So a few things happen there is one, when a client finally books with Victoria, they're pretty confident. They already know who she is, what she's about, what she does. They love her style of content. They feel good. They feel comfortable booking with her. And then number 2, when they get in the door, Victoria does these things as well to really kind of like hammer home that they're not just here for like a one-time hit and run. And we have plenty of people who get a facial and don't come back for 8 months. But generally our retention is really high because of these things. We're not running specials. And then, I mean, we can't speak for all estheticians because you don't do waxing or brows or eyelashes, things like that you're kind of I don't want to say you're out of luck, but you're more likely to get somebody who got $300 for their birthday and went, I'm going to get my eyebrows done. Or the waxing thing is like before a vacation. Now they decide to book a wax. Definitely. So those things are a little bit more difficult. But in general, you could still use these practices as well. But what we're teaching from is a place that we can really look at our months out and go, we're almost guaranteed, even from the beginning, when we had 5 perfect clients, at least we were guaranteed 5 people every single month. And everybody should reach for that because it gives you that breath of life in your business to go, at least I got 5. At least I got 5 guaranteed that are coming
Definitely. in. Definitely. And I think that when people come to you, once you start that relational, they will want to ask you more questions of, okay, what products do you recommend for me? I mean, some people do want to know that right off the bat, but not everybody's like that. So you can't treat every single client as if they're all going to be the same because everybody has different personalities. People take longer to warm up to. I have so many clients where I have to warm them up and it's not until maybe the 3rd or the 5th visit where they truly feel comfortable. So I think it's really important to keep pouring into people because that's what they need sometimes. That's
a good retention secret as well, I think, is like not overselling products or treatments.
I have a lot of Google reviews on that that and I didn't even know that. They wrote that themselves is that she gave her honest recommendations without being sold to.
Yeah, they didn't feel oversold. Yeah, and that could be with treatments. And I know as a small business owners, we got to pay the bills and the money helps us stay alive and gets food on the table. But you do have to be careful because when you start pushing and people can smell that stuff out of like, I only wanted a regular facial. Now she offered me a special price on the HydraFacial only today for this exclusive time. And they just know you just wanted some more money.
Not missed out, but I have put aside I could have done that so many times. I could have profited so much more, but it's about integrity at the end of the day. It's about putting people first and serving them instead of making a buck off them. And I think that's something that you need to go into. It's really easy to fall into that pattern when you work for somebody else. Yeah. Because it's all about quantity.
That's all they train you on. Yeah.
Yes.
But just know here, with that being said, the secret to making 10 times, 100 times as much money is not doing that. Because then when people feel comfortable and they don't leave with buyer's remorse and they don't leave with that pit in their stomach, they're going to come back 10 times as many times.
I haven't had any refunds. That says a lot.
Yeah, we see those stories all the time about chargebacks. Maybe I'm
getting lucky, but I think that says a lot.
I don't think it's lucky. I think it's the way you treat your clients. I think it's the way you make people feel. I think it's the honesty and the integrity that people can feel. And I don't think that, I mean, I do believe you're a very special person and that you're amazing, but I do think this is something that anybody can do. And with that, we've talked about before, it's a lot of patience in your business. It's a lot of like, I'm not going to make all the money right now, but in 6 months, 8 months, and a year, I'm going to 10 times as much money I can make this month by overselling people.
It'll always bite you in the butt when you get an instant sale versus a long-term relationship. Exactly. Somebody will always spend up more money, spend more money.
Do you want to make $350 now or $250 for the next year plus? But yeah, let's move into the next point because we're really, I think I love that conversation, but I want to make sure we hit the next point here. So what do you think is one of the next most important things that you've realized with client retention? Anything else you've done in the practice?
Yeah, I think adding value to the service. So whether that's making a client feel special, of adding value to their actual service, or giving them a product that you know that they could benefit from, or that's very universal. So for instance, if I know a client's going to be a great client, or I just want to bring them back, I give out Clean Skin Club towels. It cost me $5 to give a Clean Skin Club
a box of Clean Skin Club towels.
And that makes people feel so special. It's something that's so unique. So it doesn't necessarily have to be that exact product, but I've noticed a significant amount of tips, a significant amount of retention from giving value to my service.
Because they get to walk out with something. So we there's that, but there's also, I mean, it sounds like this is going hand in hand with also adding add-ons to the service as well.
Yeah.
So you've also been willing to give a free add-on to people. So how does that normally work out? So how do you know when to give a free add-on? What people do you pick and choose to do that with?
I can generally sense when somebody's genuinely there that they're going to be a good client. And not saying that I don't do that for everyone, but I will say, hey, I can see your skin is severely dehydrated. You need a lot of hydration in your skin today. I'm going to add on a Hydrinity face mask just for you today on me. Or I know you love dermaplaning, so I'm going to add on this service just for you. For sure. And that adds value to the actual service. So it's that girl math, truly. It's you're getting
I got a $300 service.
My services are expensive, but they are like, I'm paying $265 for a $300 value service.
Yeah, they can leave. And I think they also just know there's a comfortability.
That you care.
And they also know they can book those add-ons and they can actually like see the prices of what it'd be like if they book those add-ons. And next time when they book an add-on, they can go, oh, wow, she actually just gave me a $50 add-on for free.
And not only that, but they can fall in love with the service.
I think that's key for retention as well. And we've talked about this before about the fact that, I was going
to say making it personal. I think that's the key to retention is even if I don't do this, but even if you give every single client the same service, they are all going to feel valued in a different way. They're going to think that they did get a certain amount of value to their service, but it just shows that you generally care about them and not profit.
I agree. I was just saying there, like, I forget what I was saying there. I want to go back to the Clean Skin Club towels with that, unless you had something else to add. We currently give the Clean Skin Club towels because we do feel like all of our clients use those. It's a great, very practical item.
People get hooked.
Yeah. We've also explored some other items, some other samples of products. So far, that's the one that we've just gone like, you can't beat because it just for everybody.
I would highly suggest though that Clean Skin Club towels are probably one of the best investments that you can make, because you can give a sunscreen, a moisturizer, a cleanser, and I would say 50-50. Your chances are 50-50 that somebody's going to fall in love with that product. Yeah. My personal experience with Clean Skin Club towels is that 90% of people love them.
I'd say 99% of people. Like, you can't not
Some
like a towel.
Some people don't like the smell. I don't know what that's coming from.
Oh, yeah, that's interesting. It's like that viscous in there. But yeah, I think, when you're giving I think when you're giving a sample product, you are right, because when it comes to finding a perfect sunscreen, a perfect moisturizer, and you're also giving
and everyone has different skin types, right? So Clean Skin Club towels you can use for every skin type.
Exactly. But you're given this big of a sample, they use it 4 times and then just go, I don't even know if I liked it or not. So we're still exploring that. We're still kind of thinking about some other options in the future.
I feel like whenever I give samples, it has to be a specific target
for just them. And that makes it really difficult. And then with that too, it's a tiny little sample. And
how can you truly know if it works for you, right?
Yeah. And I think that also I like about the Clean Skin Club towels is it's not huge, but it's big. It has to go in a bag. Mm-hmm. So now they're leaving and going like, it's kind of heavy. Like, I got a little bag. And then if they buy products on top of that, they got a full like regimen they go home to.
Oh, yeah.
So this is a little secret, and it's not really a secret, but for the price, it sucks when we have to buy the big bulk orders. It doesn't suck, but because you buy them all at once.
Let's say you have a $300 hydrofacial though.
Yeah.
Clean Skin Club towels are $240.
Yep.
Your one-time investment is paid.
In one hydrofacial. And just know all your clients are going to be very happy. And I will give this secret, this tip away.
All my clients are so amazing.
I think everybody should do it. If you have something else to give, then give something else. If you're a waxer and there's a certain wax oil that you think is beneficial for everybody,
and we're talking about the 25
that,
count, the smaller ones.
Yeah, they're not the big box. They are the smaller ones,
but even
which is also perfect. Because 25 count, if you use one Clean Skin Club towel a day in 25 days, you will need another service by Victoria. And when you come back, you will get another box of Clean Skin towels. Okay, don't give the secrets to the clients. What did they start doing?
No, they're way too small.
Okay, and then do you have one last client retention tip that you think is important for estheticians to do that you've seen works really well in your practice?
Yeah, I think leaving out extra time for new clients when somebody's coming in. So if I notice that my consultations are an hour. So if I notice somebody is booking a consultation, I will reach out to them and say, hey, like, I'm so excited to meet you. That makes them feel comfortable, number one. But not only that, hey, would you like to do same day treatment? Mm-hmm. Maybe they booked that consultation thinking that they could do same day treatment. Yep. I see that a lot. So making that extra move, making sure that maybe you have enough time to really care about your client, because sometimes you can do a consultation and you have somebody right after and they may not feel valued. They may not feel understood. They may not feel rushed. Yeah. So I know it's probably silly, maybe, but that's what makes me me.
Yeah, I think
that people can see that as, oh my gosh, profit margins, you are going way under because you're
pushing so much extra time.
Yeah.
I don't know how much this stuff is just common knowledge, but even reaching out to a client, sending, Victoria's a texter. Most people love texting. We don't do the calls. Bigger med spas tend to do phone calls, but sending that text message really personally too. It's not an automatic message. So excited to see you for your appointment. But it's like, hey, this is Victoria. Thank you so much for booking. I'm so excited to meet you. And they can feel that interaction. So even before they walk in the door, they're feeling comfortable.
They feel like they know you.
They feel like they're with a friend. It's like, oh, I'm going to see my girl Victoria.
I would say 99% of people have texted me saying, thank you so much for reaching out to me.
Yep.
That says a lot. Yep. I think people are more scared than you think they are.
Yeah. I think we sometimes
and they feel
see
like
clients
we feel like we're friends when we meet each other.
Yeah, because they already feel like we had the text back and forth.
She went out of her way to text me and making sure
some kind of
questions, right?
Popped in.
If I had any questions that maybe you thought you were going to answer during the consultation, that maybe you had a different idea of what it was going to be like. Yeah. So
Yeah, and they can kind of really lay out what they feel like. You can kind of give them some information as well. I definitely think that's a really important tip, and I'm not sure if that's something, I hope we're not just like saying like just basic information, but I do think that's something that everybody should be doing, is send that really personal text, especially to new clients.
I think that something that I've learned is that basic information may not be basic to everybody else.
Yeah, especially for people new in the industry. Yeah, I just want to make sure that we're not just, okay, Chris and Victoria, we get it. Send the text to the clients. But yeah, I think I think that was amazing client retention information.
I hope that this episode was valuable, help you learn to just create that personable experience with your clients, make them come back. If you have any other questions, anything else that you would like us to touch base on, we would love to cover another video. So please make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.
I'm working late 'cause I'm a singer.